Alright, just finished watching Bleach. What's this Bocchi the Rock thing everyone's on about? God, I forgot how relatable I am to Bocchi. I'm literally her, but without the skill in the guitar and much less cute. Bocchi the Rock is a truly relatable masterpiece. Look at me if you have just finished watching Bocchi the Rock. Bocchi the Rock is relatable. I love this in such an uncomfortable way. I love you, Bocchi. I'm enjoying Bocchi the Rock a lot, and I'm finding it very relatable, except for the part where she falls in a group of patient, understanding friends with similar interests who all live in the same geographical location.
I love Bocchi the Rock. It's in my top 5 anime. It's probably one of the funniest animes I've ever seen, and it's very relatable.
Bocchi, relatable. She's relatable. How is this relatable? Bocchi the Rock is an anime that people fell in love with virtually instantly, and as someone who is out of touch for most of the anime last season, I binged like 200 episodes of Bleach. My bad. I didn't really get to watch the other shows, and now that I'm done, the hype had died down, and now I get to watch what I miss out on. And the name that frequently popped up was Bocchi the Rock. When my brother recommended me the show, along with the multitude of happy Twitter posts, I was expecting it to show me what a real music anime was like. And did it deliver? Yeah, considering the competition for that season, for example, the long-awaited return of Bleach, the Blue Lock, Chainsaw Man, this is probably the only show I've seen out of them that is just as universally enjoyed by everyone. And considering how volatile the anime fandom is, I'm beyond impressed is probably a massive understatement. However, do all these preachers have a point with this show? Does it live up to those comments, or is it some overhyped trashy moe anime which is only popular because there's a girl band? Well, who knows? All I can do is try to give my answer to that question. So I did. Now, for starters, unlike the other seasonal shows I listed, I quite frankly have never heard of this show in my entire life. My only quote knowledge of the show was that the main character's an introvert and she plays the guitar. Like, where's the hype in that? You'd think there's no initial appeal to it in a vacuum, right? So why did it get popular? Would you rather watch a group of girls play in a band, or watch a guy turn into a chainsaw and slay devils? To be honest, that's kind of preference, but that's not the point I'd like to make. Bocchi the Rock is so much more. But how? Well, Bocchi the Rock starts off about a girl.
Okay.
Well, Bocchi the Rock is about...
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, Bocchi the Rock is about the life of a girl named Hitori Goto, who's been a shy one for their whole life, unsure of what they wanted to do until they saw a rock star on the TV talk about their life as a student and how they used to be socially anxious as well. And because of this, she strove to pick up the guitar and start a band which would skyrocket in popularity and... Oh, alright, so she learns the guitar, wants to start a band, but social anxiety makes that impossible, so she resides in a cramped, dark room to pump out YouTube content. You know what, that works too. However, in her first day of high school, it all changes as she's suddenly invited to perform with Kasoku Band, which also loosely translates to Zip Tie Band, by the way. It's also currently a duo of bassist Yo Yamada and drummer Nijika Ijichi, as she's carrying a guitar in her bag, and someone finally noticed. More people join, like vocalist Ikyo Kata, and throughout the show's progression, you see the group's antics and watch them grow together, from performing to their growth as people. Bocchi the Rock stands out for its unique balance of characters. The entire roster is diverse, quirky, but they all have some element of realism behind them. They aren't presented like ditzy cute anime girls, but they're also charmingly silly in certain interactions, and people love that because it's so easy to relate to. Characters like Bocchi are interesting because her character tackles social anxiety through the lens of someone who lives with it, and how all the other characters see it as well. An example being when the animation style changes because the voice actor decided to be a living audio glitch. That is a completely unedited screen, by the way. The side characters are also really well rounded. In the band, the characters all have different personality traits, all ranging from some sort of outgoingness spectrum from... 見ててねこんな感じで to not even being able to maintain eye contact without wanting to climb into a bin. I love how every member in the band tries to help Bocchi out with her personal struggles, Nijika being the one who broke her out of her comfort zone in the first place, Ryo helping Bocchi find herself through songwriting, and how they have a talk about originality or guitar being so extroverted that it's contagious with everyone. And that's cool, they make mistakes and cause chaos along the way, but that's the beauty of the band. There's still only a bunch of high schoolers who do this as a hobby, not a job. Mistakes are bound to happen. The humanity behind them is a charm people resonate with, and it's a cute way of adding depth in a cast without creating an overly serious atmosphere of backstory, melancholy, sad stuff, you know what I mean. Do you like Bocchi the Rock? And feel free to give a reason why.
Yes, I gave it a 9 out of 10 on my anime list. Musical anime in general really interests me, so... And similar to your line, April, progression of musicians is something I can relate to quite closely.
One thing people really liked about the show is like the relatability of every character. Did you think that kind of applied with you as well?
Definitely. Because there's some situations that Bocchi does, and I'm just thinking, why is she like me for real?
I mean, yes, there are some ridiculous moments without context, but Bocchi the Rock does a spectacular job of balancing seriousness with humor. What am I looking at? Now, the characters are one thing that stand out in the show, but you can't only have a compelling cast and have some scuffed stop motion to support it. Oh, okay, I guess you can. Bocchi the Rock originates from a manga that didn't really use huge flashy panels or page turns, and instead uses a comic strip style which you'd see more in comedy skits. Yet somehow, the people over at Cloverworks once again go above and beyond for this monster of an adaptation. Reading through the manga has me absolutely stunned with how Cloverworks extrapolates an already endearing story from the text to curate such a vivid and lively approach to the show.
One take. I made that up in one take.
The passion just oozes out of every single episode. The creative liberty the animators had did not go unnoticed. The way they used so much media to depict the Bocchi's mind, giving those "she's like me for real" moments. There's one scene in particular which was always mentioned when talking about moments that stood out.
Well, actually, there are like certain parts of the show where it just completely switches to a new style. Like there's the figurine of Bocchi.
Bocchi turning into a 3D model.
She goes flying through the school.
Yeah. It's the outlandish animation styles combined with the take on social anxiety which make for such an understandable character, let alone the whole cast. The references, the voice acting, the cripplingly relatable humor, which are more scary than funny, make this show stand out. Although, you could say there's one part of this show that I'm forgetting about. Oh, how could I forget? The moe slice of life aspect of Bocchi the Rock is already amazing, but the music is where the rock part actually kicks in. You see the work put in behind the songs, for example, in the story when Bocchi overcomes her problems with songwriting. Not only that, but in the sound itself, every single song in this show absolutely rocks.
No, actually, I'm a genius at that. I'm actually so funny. I'm actually the comedic genius of everything. You can't even know.
Okay, sorry, I had to get that one out. I was pretty proud of that. You get to see the personal growth of the individual members from each and every performance, the most noticeable change of all being from Bocchi herself. But how? Okay, I'll stop, sorry. At the very start of the show, Bocchi is seen as someone who finds it hard to socialize, an overthinker who unhealthily mixes up her imagination with what others think of her, and because of such, she struggles to perform in front of others. For each episode, you see her work her absolute hardest to improve herself and stray away from her bad habits, but you also get to see the humor behind the chaos it creates. From the shambles of the first instrumental-only performance, the band took small steps, striving for personal dreams and aspirations, and tightening the friend group's relationship through whatever photographing, work life, or beach episode they do. And the hard work feels like it truly pays off every single time. You look at that character you knew as an anxious overthinker, and you see her let that guitar rip in front of a growing audience, and all you can do is watch as all the build-up behind it comes together to bring nothing but satisfaction. This is what Bocchi the Rock is about, a girl who suffers from social anxiety yet has big and bold aspirations to succeed as a rock star, growing out of her shell and taking steps forward with the help of her friends, her work colleagues, and random drunk strangers. Ignore that last part. The anime deserved all the love it got, from its cast to its music, and also tackling a common issue people have or had.
At one point, I was like introverted as shit, and I wanted to make my mark on the world, but didn't know how to. So all her struggles, all the things she has to learn, I completely resonate with all that.
It's a story which can resonate really deeply with the right people, but even then there's still at least one thing in the show that can connect with you.
It appeals to basically everyone. Like, oh, do you want a cute show that's like relax with? And here it is. If you want a show that tackles social anxiety, you have that. If you want a show to cheer you up, you have that. Like, it covers such a wide audience, and it works for like all ages as well.
And I feel like it deserves way more of a reputation than it should. Like, I feel like
Really?
it should be, yeah, as popular as the big three, maybe more popular.
Okay. I was initially really surprised by the overall enjoyment everyone had, but upon watching it, I can only agree. The jokes, the serious scenes, many of the things in this show are all conveyed very clearly, and in my personal opinion, they do it in one of the most charming ways you can, through an amazing adaptation of an amazing story. Oh, you have to be kidding me! Hey guys, thanks for watching. It's been nearly a year since I recorded a video essay type anime review, and I hope to do this more. Very many thanks to Wilf, Avery, Grizius, and Dante for being a part of this video, and especially Wilf because they did the thumbnail for this video too. Go check them out in the description below, all the links will be there, I promise. And to you who has watched this video to the end, I hope you have a great day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and peace.